Okay, this lesson is 22. In 22, we're going to learn about uniform motion problems and do a review on some similar triangles. So uniform motion problems are problems where rate times time equals distance. Rate is another word for speed. So an example would be if you drove for 50 miles per hour for 2 hours, how far would you have gone? Well, the rate, which is your 50 miles per hour, times your time, which is your 2 hours, equals your distance. So 50 miles over hours times 2 hours, the hours cancel, and you get 100 miles, and that is your distance. So let's do another example. It says Roger made the trip on Sunday, and Judy made the same trip on Monday. Let's stop right there. So they made the same trip, so they went the same distance. So the distance for Roger is equal to the distance for Judy. Now, anytime you have a distance, you have rate times time. So that means Roger's rate times Roger's time. And the rate for Judy and the time for Judy. Let's see what else we can find. It says Roger traveled at 12 miles per hour. So the rate for Roger is 12 miles per hour. It says Judy traveled at 20 miles per hour. So let's write that one down. It says her time was, means the time for Judy was 2 hours less than, that's minus 2 over here, Roger's time, with time for Roger. How far did they travel? When it says how far, that means distance. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to take these three things and plug them into here. So this is 12. This one right here is t sub r minus 2. This one is 20. Oh, I just plugged in the wrong one, sorry. Let's do that again. Let's do, okay, back up. This is 12. This one is t sub r minus 2. This one is 20. Oh, I know what. I wrote that wrong. That's why I keep doing it wrong. This is just t sub r. This is where I want to put my t sub j. T sub r minus 2. So we get 12 times t sub r. And we've got 20 times t sub r minus 40. So if I subtract 20 t sub r from both sides, I'll get negative 8 over here. And then divide by negative 8, and I'll get 5. Now that means that Roger went 5 hours. Now remember, I want distance. Their distances are the same, so I can figure out either one, but I'll do Roger's. So Roger's rate, they told me, was 12. He went for 5 hours. So that's 60 miles. Okay. Let's draw a picture of some similar triangles here. Now we know that the vertical angles are congruent, and this angle here is congruent to this angle. So that means those triangles are similar by angle. Now if you're given these values and those variables, you're going to set up the corresponding parts. We know the ones across from the vertical angles are congruent. I know the ones across from the congruent angles are congruent, so 9 is to y. And then this one's across from the angle that's not marked, and this one's across from the angle that's not marked, so 7 is to x. Then set up proportions. You have to use 6 over 5 for each one of them, so you only have one variable. Then you have 6y equals 45. Divide both sides by 6. That can be reduced, so we'll divide both by 3. Get our answer. This one, cross multiply and divide by 6, and that cannot be reduced. And you're done.